Well, well, well. Look who comes crawling back. Come join me. The water's fine.
I never left. I am always alongside behind before you. I simply made my presence known to you.
I may be less than enchanted with this stage of the work, but I know it's important.
You are doing the thing. Again.
Whoa! I'm defending you!
No! You are pissing me off!
But I just don't want things to get even worse!
Then stop pretending that my feelings are top priority, and try being honest for once.
So let's drag that imperious corporate bitch down from her airship and reintroduce a little normalcy.
Sir,
yes, sir.
Alrighty, Magus. You heard the boss.
Yes, ma'am.
That is not cute.
It's kind of cute.
No! It's mental illness!
It can be both.
I'll fucking kill you!
Thief to Omega 413. Thief takes pawn. Check.
Yeesh, and you've been at this for how long?
Maybe about 4 years?
4 years? What have you even been doing there for 4 years?
I have a son. That is physical proof that I have had bitches. Thank you.
As someone who has been friends with every woman you are attempting to categorize into this, I can assure you they were not your bitches. You were theirs.
That rat bastard! We're going to show him!
Yeah, absolutely. But maybe we could do it from inside of the ship?
Oh, bro, wake up. What's up, Chief?
Good to have you back.
Denizens of the multiverse. Today I have a very special guest. Pavizi is how I know you. I understand you have some other aliases rolling around, but can you give us a little information, introduce yourself?
Hello. I'm Pavizi. And I am Pavizi.
This is good, this is good. Pavizi, can you tell us a little bit about how you got into Homestuck?
I got recommended Octopimp comic dogs when I was 13. And I watched every single one, and that was not enough for me.
Yep. So how did you get introduced to the comic dubs? Where were you at?
I was on YouTube. I wasn't looking. I honestly do not remember.
So it was just, it came up on your feed and you just started watching them from there?
Yeah, in my recommendations, and I thought the characters looked funny, and I thought the dubs were funny.
So then you were watching like YouTube videos? Were you into any like spaces like Newgrounds or?
I was not. I was too young for all that culture.
That is so fair. When was this, like year-wise?
It would have been when I was 13, so 2013.
All right. So you weren't really into fandom so much. Like, is that still a thing?
Yeah, honestly, I've never been into fandom. I got into Homestuck pretty late, and I just never really engaged with the fandom at large. I just consumed what came out of it.
You're a wonderful artist. When did you start getting into that? Did you always post that stuff?
I have been drawing since I was like 9, but I only started drawing digitally when I got my first tablet for my 14th birthday.
And you never posted any of that anywhere?
I think it's honestly all on my Tumblr if you go back far enough.
So this is cool because I know that you were definitely in the fandoms that I was in. Well, not in the fandoms per se, but you were into like the different things that I like. I see that you're into Adventure Time. I see that you're into like Undertale. There's other franchises and stuff, and I know that you're a gamer. Did you want to shed any light in on any of that you're comfortable talking about?
I would not describe myself as a gamer. I have one game installed in my Steam library, and it's RimWorld. It's really my only hobby and passion is art, yes.
Oh, that's so lovely, though. So, okay, you were I know that you had mentioned at one point that you had like an Undertale AU, and you shared us like the sprites for that. Did you want to talk a little bit maybe about the story there?
I can, but I made that when I was like 13, so you're gonna have to give me a bit to dig for it. It honestly started as just silly sprite edits I made that got massively out of hand. And because I was 13, I was not prepared for the level of like internet fame that it brought, and I just kind of left.
So from the start, like, people really dug what you were doing, but it was kind of like way too much, way too fast.
Absolutely.
Wow, especially if you weren't even in the fandom spaces. Like, you weren't familiar with, like, how people were engaging with each other. You were probably just like, oh, here you go, I did this thing, and people are like, ah!
Yeah, I made art for series that I liked, and other people liked it a lot. Found the files in the sprites in my files, hang on.
So what did you use to make these?
At the time, I think I used Paint.net, because that was the only art program I had.
You still use Fire Alpaca. So you definitely, you jumped into, like, where all the free programs. Did you ever use, like, MyPaint? I think was the one that I had.
I did not. I used Paint.net, and then the moment I got a tablet, I downloaded the first free art program I found, which is Fire Alpaca, and I have been using that since.
That is wonderful, and especially, like, you get so used to it, you don't want to change things up. There's no reason to.
It works.
Tell me about these characters. So these are your ideas for the different, like, what the kids would have looked like.
Yeah, the human souls.
So it's been a while. I know that each soul had, like, a different, like, I know, like, there was, like, happiness, or maybe that was made up, actually.
It has been a decade since I thought about any of this, and this is not a line of question I expected us to go down.
No worries, no worries.
They are very cute, and I'm glad people had fun with them.
Did you get, like, fan fictions and stuff?
I got so much fun. I have an entire folder saved in my computer of fan art I got during the time.
Do you watch a lot of, like, art YouTube at the time?
I did not. I am entirely self-taught. I couldn't tell you. Do you remember what you watched on YouTube a decade ago?
I do! But I see, okay, listen, I understand. I'm a little bit of a special case, so do not worry about that. So what about any specific creators, maybe, that you enjoyed?
Again, I'm sorry, I really could not tell you. After I finished Homestuck, I wanted more Homestuck. So I looked up Homestuck fan comics, and I found MSPFA.
Okay, so this is a part of, I know that it exists, but I have not personally, like, gone in there and read too many of them. When they did SockOn, online convention thing, did watch the video, Carcat Goes to a Convention. I have not read the actual fan adventure for that one, but were there good ones? What was the environment like? Like, I have so many questions. Only, like, obviously what you can answer, but...
Again, I could not tell you much. I did not interact with the MSPFA community at large.
Mm-hmm. It was just
I found comics I liked, and I joined the Discords for them.
And you'd make, like, fan art and stuff for it?
Yeah, that's about it.
I mean, that's still cool. So that's where you kind of started to get into, like, the Discord space, then?
Yes. I made a Discord account exclusively because I wanted to join the community for a comic I liked.
Do you remember which community this one was?
It was a comic called Pay.Rent.
And what was that one about?
About a man trying to pay his rent. I feel like that's pretty obvious.
And then it was just kind of like MS Paint Adventure type of him running into obstacles and he can't pay his rent.
Many problems in the goal of paying his rent.
I see. And this, I imagine, was really enjoyable. So when you read Homestuck, did you get into it through, like you said the videos, so were you using the Voxus dubs?
No, I watched all of the Octopip dubs, and I just immediately jumped into the comic itself.
And who are your favorite characters?
I like Jade, and I like Rose. I think Homestuck does female characters incredibly well.
I agree. Oh my god, the fucking women are so beautiful.
I think Hussey is ridiculously good at writing women.
So, not fandom sweetheart, again. Let's keep you saying that. Our comic's little sweetheart is Vriska Circuit. I know that she's a little bit of a fun character to talk about because everyone has such strong opinions about her, and it's either she is the best character in the entire world, or she's the literal devil. Like, it's hard to kind of find a balance. I think we found out a little bit more in these recent years, and especially with her stuff that's going on in, like, Homestuck too. But why do you think that might be? Why did you like Vriska? Why did you like, or I assume you like Vriska. I know that you like the girls generally, so.
I adore Vriska.
That's the answer.
Vriska did a lot wrong, but that's why she's fun. Characters can be terrible people. It makes them more interesting.
You were in like these like Discord servers with these fan adventures. Again, imagine you're making art and things like that for them. Nothing notable about the space. Like, you were posting on Twitter. When did you start posting on Twitter?
I started posting on Twitter in, let's say, like 2018?
Oh, but that was a good time.
I can check. Hang on.
Was it during after the Tumblr purge?
No, I started posting on Twitter because I just wanted to get more eyes on my art because I was trying to make a career out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I made my account in 2020.
Wow, so you were like right at the... Okay, so this is the timeline in my brain. Because there was like the end of the comic, which was like 2016. The fandom and the things like that where they're still pretty active up until like 2018. I remember when they were dropping the Friend Sim controls. I remember they started Pest Request at some point during that. I know that they dropped Hive Swap during that time period-ish too. And then they did...
Hive Swap is right. That's when I properly got into Homestuck, is like the Hive Swap era.
So like when they dropped the first game?
Yes, when they started dropping the troll call.
Yes. Okay, I know exactly what time you were starting. So yeah, you jumped on Twitter and you were doing all that. What got you stuck? What really resonates with you?
I just enjoyed the storytelling, the art, the maximalist philosophy behind it.
What is maximalist philosophy for somebody who might not know what that means?
Just keep adding shit until it works.
That's actually, it's funny. I was recently told that, and I didn't put that together until you just said it. That's hilarious. But, yeah, so, I mean, you're still here. You still make art for it. You make art for other properties, too, of course.
I make art for everything I enjoy. Homestuck is the reason I am an artist. I will always like Homestuck. I will draw it until I die.
I know at some point, is it just something that comes with the amount of attention that you grab, or is it, like, when did people start being weird with you? Like, it's the people who are, like, so, I would say, obsessive, maybe, about what you're doing, that, like, they come in, like, they bother you.
Part of it is, it just comes with the territory. As you grow an identity or an account online, you get more and more attention. And eventually you are going to start attracting people who are a little bit scary.
So, yeah, definitely seen that. And it's definitely, like, unacceptable behavior, and I don't think that just because you are getting attention online, that shouldn't mean that you have to face harassment or anything at all. Like, just... I think where I'm holding, like, a problem with that, you're still a human, And even, I mean, if you've blown up since the start, you probably never even seen the rest of it, or like what it's like when that's not what it's about.
I'm an alien, actually.
Why do you feel that way?
Because I am one. Look at me, I'm green.
Your favorite parts of, like, posting online?
I enjoy it when number goes up.
Well,
largely my reason for posting online is that it makes me money, and I like money.
I see. I know you talked a little bit about being kind of like, it's hard to go out in your, like, area that you're at. This is kind of like an outlet for, I imagine, being able to, like, talk to people. You get to talk to people about things that you like. All of that must be. And the added bonus is when you post it online and it gets, the positive attention is what you ideally want. It's the people who are nice to you. It's the people who are, like, they're interested in what you're doing. You're posting an AU for Undertale. It's like, when I imagine that was like, oh my god, these people are drawing my characters. Like, they're being so nice to me. Like, that feels amazing. And what makes me sad is that something I think that we are facing nowadays is how people don't really know how to find joy in anything anymore. They don't know how to have, like, fun, just, doing what you love. You think it would be all this labor of love.
Find joy in love. I think any issues that, like, especially the ones I face with, I'm a very vocal minority. The internet enables vocal minorities to seem like they are the majority. I think the vast majority of people are happy engaging on positive terms with things they like and the artists who create things they like.
So, I guess the angle that I'm coming from is, so I chose a character, and it was not by my will. If I could have chosen a different character, if I could have done anything else, I would have. I did not have a choice. I fell in love with Eridan Ampera. And I have an interpretation of her that I am very attached to. The way that I read her was separate from what Octopimp was doing. Octopimp, I love his videos. Of course, it got, like you said, it got us started. But that's not what Eridan was actually like, but it is widely accepted that it was. And I know that they use, like, Cronus to kind of, like, take that and go, like, this is how you guys are looking at Eridan, and it's like an exaggerated form of him. So, something that I face is, even though I have gotten to a point, I'm pretty proud of my art. I think I'm doing a pretty good job. Like, yes, I'm not perfect. Nobody is perfect. What I'm doing is a labor of love. But it turns a lot of people off because it is a character that people do not like. And I understand that people do not like, and they have the right to not like. The type of way that I am treated, kind of, it's just very hard to describe. And when I was on Instagram, and this was like 2020-ish, and then it kind of went on until like 2023, I was having a lot of trouble talking to and meeting other artists because it was hard to like get them to, but like not immediately pass me up. And I think I developed a complex about that, really, because it's like I'm very social and I like to hang out with a lot of people. So it's like when people like from the moment that they meet me, they have like such a strong opinion about me. Really is hard. So I still get a lot of people who love what I do. They love the art. They love Eridan. Like, there's definitely people out there who like him like I do, and they appreciate what I'm doing. And it's something that I'm enjoying. They're enjoying. I'm getting the positive attention for that. This is awesome. I'm very lucky. I don't know. I feel like always having to fight with that other side has been difficult for me, and I don't know if other people experience that so much. And I'm wondering how much of that, is it these same kind of people that harass, like, say you, like, for, like, am I not even missing out because these people suck anyway? I don't know. There's obviously a lot of thoughts I have about that, but I guess, that's why I was curious about, like, maybe some of the things that, you've seen people do to you, and maybe it's like, I don't know, people, they feel like it's justified, and they think that it's okay to be that way.
I would assume it's the same kind of person. The modern internet is very, I don't want to say like echo chambery, but it encourages like-minded people to get together and they can amplify their own opinions. Which means you get like, even within fandom, you can create like subgroups that get real mad at each other. I like, within Homestuck, I feel like the obvious example is like Risk Horse.
Oh, you're so right. Oh, I can't even imagine the Vriska side of things. If there's, okay, I have seen a little bit of that. I have seen people who like so back in the day, there were the Vriska defenders, there were the Gamzee defenders, and there was the Eridan defenders, and they usually were not on the same side. Like, somebody who was defending Vriska was probably not defending Gamzee or Eridan. They were probably like, no, your characters suck. Vriska was the best character. They didn't have, and vice versa too. It's like a lot of the people that were defending Eridan at the time. Well, why are you guys mad that he killed one person when Gamzee over here killed two people and they were in love, like they were best friends? Like, a lot of that kind of discourse. So yeah, I think you're completely right. I think that there's always like a label that these people put on. But with that in mind, what do you think the solution to that is?
The solution to that? Step 1 is to stop being 13. Step 2 is for social media to stop prioritizing rage bait. I think Blue Sky's doing a lot better because their algorithm does not prioritize making people mad. It does not prioritize engagement bait to make people stay on the site. I think Twitter was just absolutely noxious for fandoms because of how hard it like incentivized people to just get mad and stay mad.
Why do you think that happened? How do you, other than like, like you said, these systems in place were trying to keep people on the website. So, and the best way to do that is make them angry.
There's a capital incentive for it. If people are angry, they're gonna argue, and if they argue, they stay on the website.
There literally is, yeah. Why do you think people are still there? Do you think they're just like addicted to it?
On Twitter? I do not. I locked my Twitter account months ago.
Yeah, okay, so you did. You made the full switch. Obviously not everybody has. But your experience on Blue Sky has definitely been better than Twitter then.
Vastly better. I get more human engagement. People are way nicer.
That is amazing. That makes me really happy to hear. I guess, and you know, I saw a little bit of it on Instagram too, that people back in 2020, I think Danganronpa, if I'm saying that right, was kind of going around at that time, and they had like different sprites for the characters, and then their culture was like they would make these, they were like information posts, discourse posts, I don't remember exactly, but like they would talk about a subject with the fucking like the character little PNG. They're doing like a PowerPoint slide of like bisexuals versus pansexuals, so everyone had like really strong opinions and they were arguing the comments. I don't know if is the culture from Twitter, I guess. Like a part of that too. I have no idea. I remember back in 2020, were you around when they were doing like the updates to Homestuck 2, but a lot of people were kind of harassing. Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, the original team. Yes, I did see that, and I think it was deplorable.
I talked about this with Sonic just not even that long ago. We were talking about how like the way that the people treated her and treated the team, and like they sent it on a hiatus. Like it was so much harassment that like it stopped Homestuck. We didn't get Homestuck back until a couple years ago. Like
the vast majority of that campaign was organized by what's his name? Fucking Mackin of the Homestuck subreddit.
It was the Reddit side.
Yes.
What?
It was absolutely the Reddit. He was like directly responsible for encouraging the amount of harassment that the original team received.
Wow, okay. So that, and you know, that's another thing is that like, okay, the Reddit side they don't like what I do either. They're like, oh, I don't know, I don't post there. They didn't even like my porn because they didn't like that I wasn't drawing the women more. So I don't really touch the Reddit other than like once in a while I'll see like they'll talk about different things in Homestuck. They're like, yeah, they're bringing back the same discourse or whatever. Yeah, I didn't know that Reddit was responsible for... I thought it was just a Twitter exclusive thing, and then the people on Instagram were making memes about it. But that is crazy. I hope they're okay now. I hope that team, they were able to move on to other projects.
I have interacted with a few of them, and they seem to be doing good.
That's good. Oh, that is a relief. Yeah, I remember that time period, because it just comes with the attention, because they were dropping... It was right after Pester Quest, they were doing the Homestuck 2, so it was an active fandom. Like, it wasn't as big, obviously, as it was back in the day. Got a new slew of people, a bunch of, like, younger kids, let's be honest. That's what a lot of these guys were minors doing this, too. But, yeah, so it's like... It was like an explosion, and then it was, on top of that, there was just, like, bad faith actors that were just sending things over. So yeah, I agree with you. I like Blue Sky. I think I really liked Blue Sky because it doesn't really encourage the, like you said, negative, like, posting. So I think that changes, like, the environment quite a lot. Like, they're a lot nicer. There's still minors there, and there's still these kids that were on Twitter, and they still have all the discourse from Twitter. They still have, like, but recently I think their Discord server exploded because of another situation that went down, so par for the course, that's just what happens in these spaces. It's just whatever. So what are you working on now, like, other than... I mean, if you're comfortable talking about...
What am I working on now? I draw porn for a living. People like what I make, and I make good money. I think of an idea that I like, and then I draw it. Yeah, that's about it. I just draw a bunch, and I tell people if they like my art, they can see more of my art for $5, and I make a lot of money.
Yeah, and it seems like things have been going pretty good. I donated to your thing, and I got thrown into the server, by the way. I was like, oh shit, I wasn't ready for this. I think that is very cool, and I think you have the right idea. I like the way that you do it, too, because you go through, you make them pay, make them pay if they want to see things a little early, and... I mean, you need to make a living, and you're doing good work. Like Game with Funk McLovin, is that like a thing that you'd like to do moving forward? Maybe do more like game stuff, or?
I contribute to a lot of Homestuck fan games. I'm on the art team for the Genesis project. I did a few art assets for Mindstuck. There's a few Homestuck D&D projects floating around with some art I've done. I do not think I have the chops for game development. I have sold my soul to art. I don't have enough in me.
I know you're... Do you like space, the alien thing? Is that like a... Like, are you like super big on astronomy or things like that? Or is it just kind of like, oh, this...
I do. I am. I love astronomy. The alien theming is not just a persona. I adore astronomy. I love space. It has been an interest of mine since I was a
So do you have
small
like a,
child.
like a telescope? Like, is like, are we talking like you are serious about this?
I do have a telescope.
What? Can I ask? Can we go down this route? I'd really like to know more about this.
Not like a... I mean, you can. I don't think I have much to say beyond I like to look at the night sky.
Can you... Like, are you at a point where you can, like, know which planets or what?
I could point them out, but that's like a 10-minute Google skill.
No, but, like, that's cool, though. That's just cool to me. I don't know. I'm into astrology a little bit, you know.
I live on the city limits of my town, so the light pollution is not bad enough to obscure the sky.
Pollution, especially at night, was horrible. So I only saw the moon, and I saw maybe, like, a star here or there. It wasn't until I moved out here that I've actually seen stars. And something that kind of sucks, right, is, like, we got fucking Elon Musk with this fucking Starlink shit, and it's ruining the night sky. Blue sky obviously still isn't at a point that it can compete with Twitter per se. I think that if these artists moved here and, like, the people were brave enough to get off of Twitter, they would really like the space a lot more, because it reminds me a lot of how fandom in these online spaces used to be. You mentioned being... Well, you're talking about... Not the forums. You were talking about the fan adventures, but these, like, forums and things, like, early internet used to be for fun, for love, for, like, nobody was trying... Like, there were trolls, but, like, nobody was, like, trying to rage bait each other and ruin, you know, everybody's fun. But... yeah, I think that if we can get more people more engaged, getting off of that, stop arguing with each other. Not every single thing needs to be the most intense discourse you have ever seen in your fucking life. Like, have a little bit of an open mind to kind of, like, learn more about others and things like that. I am very hopeful to see Blue Sky kind of go in more of that direction. I'm hoping that it'll stop people, but in the political environment might also be... I don't know, I feel like the political environment was because of, like, since 2016. Did you see that?
Oh, Twitter got really bad after 2016. It sucked then, but it got exponentially worse.
Yeah, because you've seen it absolutely started with, like, we had Trump. Do you know anything about Gamergate?
I know too much about Gamergate.
So what is Gamergate?
What is Gamergate? How do I summarize that? A bunch of men getting really mad that video games are not as sexualized as they are.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, these guys, they just were mad about... So, I've been given a very small rundown, and I couldn't even tell you the story beats and the most important characters that were a part. Like, Sariel knows. I'll learn more from Sariel over the years. It'll start to actually stick.
The beat for beat of Gamergate is that, like, it started with a bunch of really mad right-wingers who were complaining about, like, ethics in game journalism and shit like that, but it was really just like, I don't like that women make video games. I don't like that women report on video games. I don't like that there's black people in video games. This is all new and scary, and I'm scared. Yeah, shit like that.
Oh, absolutely. And it's very funny, because it's like these people who were at the leading of this, or whatever, the people who kind of were the big figures. I mean, they're out there now. Like, one of them was at the January 6th riots. Like, it kind of spells out, I think, growing culture. And like, I think what you were saying was right. You were saying that, like, it's a small but vocal minority of people. I don't think the average person acts like this. Nobody's this. It's very radical.
Normal people don't act like this. If you get off the internet and talk to people, the vast majority of them are normal human beings.
But you see, like, what they did is they kind of found what works to radicalize people. Like, yes, it is not as widespread as we are seeing because we are on the internet and we are, like, engaging with people who are being, like, watching them and stuff. But we are seeing it leak into the real world a little bit. Like, even what I do for my work, I see kind of, like, a unique aspect of it because it's, a lot of these guys lean right. It's a religious thing, right? So, even when going to, like, a conference with these guys, they're, in real life, spouting the kinds of things that we have, like our Jordan Petersons, like talking about our Ben Shapiro's, are these figures, Andrew Tate, they are bleeding into the real world now. And especially as we have, like, a generation, like, I feel like you and me, like, we were on the internet because we were just enjoying the internet. We were doing our own thing. But a lot of people during COVID were thrown into, like, the internet space for a good hot minute. And this was, I think, in correlation to, like, the stuff that was happening in Homestuck in 2020 and stuff. Like, a lot of these things in these spaces that blew up were because a lot of people were at home. So we saw a kind of this expanded to, like, everyone, a global consciousness a little bit. But you and I, we have a little bit more of, like, a positive outlook. What makes it easy for you and why you still are, brave enough to continue to do what you do and do what you love?
Because I love doing what I love, and I'm not gonna let, anything stop me. What am I gonna do, not draw?
It's all you can do. Yeah, that's true. It's like how, when am I, well, in my case, it's like, when am I not gonna be gay? Like, when am I not gonna be, like, my little slew of identity that I have? Like, even just joining your Discord server the other day, there were so many people are active. I was like, oh my god. This is a big space.
It is shocking to me how many Pavizi fans are out there.
What's it like? Like, it has to be. For when it's good, it's good.
When it's good, it's real good. It's fun. It's nice having people know me and enjoy my work.
Is there, like, a type of person that you... I guess there's no reason to be like, oh yeah, these guys are weird. But, do you have any stories from, being, like, a public figure?
Do I have any stories beyond the, like, Twitter harassment campaign? I can't really think of anything.
So what happened during that?
I drew porn of Homestuck, and 13-year-olds did not like that, and they tried to dox me.
Yeah, and it's always just the regular porn, too. It's just like, they make such a big deal out of everything. And I was talking to other people about where the ethics are and what people are arguing about. But, draw porn. It's good porn. That's it. It's just because it's so widespread, it must be. Like you're not doing anything weird.
I must be doing something right because people like what I make.
Seeing what they think of you, like their impressions of what you do means about you, and like you said, the harassment, like, where's it? It doesn't make sense to me because it's like you're not doing anything wrong, and not that I guess it goes back again to the some people are going to have stronger opinions, but okay, here's one thing. It's just Homestuck that they're weird about it, because you draw for other fandoms, and other fandoms are fine about it.
It is absolutely just Homestuck. I think part of that comes with the fan base being, on average, a lot younger.
Yeah, and yeah, since you started in like 2020, and like that's when things were blowing up with the younger fans. Like nowadays, as we've moved forward, there's still minors and stuff that are fans, but I feel like the average age has definitely gone up. Have you seen kind of like less and less of the people being weird with you as it's gone on, and that's why you're sure it's just a younger audience?
It largely stopped as soon as I stopped using Twitter.
And then it goes back to Twitter, yeah, for sure.
It was almost entirely Twitter, solely because that website prioritizes making people angry.
You wouldn't stream. I guess they wouldn't let you if you were doing an SFW stuff.
I do not think Twitch would let me draw penis to a live audience.
Yeah. Oh wait, they did for a minute. They did like a...
They did, and then people immediately fucked it up.
Yeah, because they were pushing it. They were like, okay, how far does it go? Like...
I think it was largely Twitch getting pushback from payment processors.
Really?
Yeah, most card processors in the US are pretty heavily lobbied by right-wing Christian groups, which is why they're all like so anti-porn as they are.
Does Bitcoin actually solve that problem? I know that's the talk, but I don't know if I trust any fucking meme coins.
Crypto doesn't solve any fucking problems. It makes problems.
Really?
Yeah, let me put all my faith in an unregulated, decentralized currency run by billionaires.
It really is, and I think they're pushing it even more, because, like, even recently, Trump go through and he was like, yeah, everybody who buys this meme coin, the top buyers can come eat lunch with me. And all these bitches were masked.
It's such a basic scam. They're already on top, so they're just taking advantage of people who think they can get on top.
Yeah, that's fucked.
All of crypto is just a bigger fool scam.
And they did the same thing with NFTs there for a minute. I know NFTs are kind of like, they've fallen off. So how would like an average person like be able to identify? Like what the hell? Like how do you not get scammed? How do you recognize that this is an issue?
I am not sure what to say to that beyond basic financial literacy. I think anyone who has taken a kindergarten math class can recognize that Bitcoin is not a great system to back.
Do you remember, this was not that long ago, when they were shorting the GameStop stocks?
I do.
Do you remember that whole debacle?
What happened live?
Were you, like, how aware? Were you just, like, on the outskirts, or were you, seeing it happen?
GameStop was a failing company because it was a very specialized retailer in a market that was not doing so hot at the time. You know, selling physical game goods in an era that was largely digital. And people realized that because GameStop's stock was so ridiculously fucking cheap, they could just buy up a shit ton of it, trigger like fake investment surges, and then just sell the hell out of it to make a massive profit.
We made those, we actually fucking got the billionaires for a second. We got all these like these fuckers at the top. But when they do that, it's like when somebody like climbs up this ladder, it's like they kick it down behind them so that nobody else can like climb up. And every time it happens, it's like oh, a few people get up there, but then it's so much work. And then they keep doing this shit where it's like they're pointing, like right now it's like the trans thing. Like nobody gave a shit. Well, okay, there's people are still fucking transphobic. They've always been. But during this recent election, they were really pushing that like anti like trans thing. We went from like, okay, people were kind of realizing that was stupid to like they realized that it got people heated. Now we got all these people talking about it.
I think all of the anti-trans shit is just, it is manufactured culture war. People did not care. There was not, like, you go back to like 2010, there was not this much outrage about it. There was not this much anger. It is intentionally manufactured cultural outrage. You always need an enemy. Fucking most media is conglomerated. Like news media, print media, internet media is all conglomerated under, a good handful of companies, and those companies are owned by a good handful of people who have a vested interest in maintaining their wealth and power. And the easiest way to do that is to just pit everyone against each other, which means manufacturing outrage. So they just pick a target, and they just hammer everything they can into that target.
Yeah, no, like what they're doing is they're framing these like drag brunches and stuff. They're framing them as like fucking
exactly.
Of course, they gotta jump to pedophilia. They always said it's got to be the worst fucking thing, and then people will just believe it. Like they don't.
They do not. It does not impact them. They have no personal attachment to anything they say, and when it does impact them, they're rich enough to not give a shit.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely fucked up. It's they don't care about who the victims are. Like you said, they'll just change it around as soon as you get people like cool. I know that Musk recently has started to kind of like step down, even though he's still got his hands in things. He's still like got like these guys in with the Doge stuff that he did. They have a new fucking person. One of the fucking people that were writing the Project 2025 stuff, by the way, in taking his seat, and he's taking a step back because people took it out on him through not buying Teslas, and they tanked his Tesla stock. So all of these bitches that are in power, they're all, like you said, they have a vested interest. They have money. They want to keep their money. They want to lower taxes for the rich. And when things start to hurt, and like we have like these red states that it's hitting first, like these, they're taking.
Yeah, there's a reason billionaires are pumping everything they have to into the Republican Party. Republicans actively work to dismantle everything that opposes the billionaire class. They dismantle healthcare, they dismantle education, and people who are sick and tired and do not have education are easier to control, they're easier to manipulate. Uneducated voters vote Republican through the aforementioned manufactured culture wars. It's a self-defeating cycle. You're getting people to gnaw off their own foot to spite their neighbor.
And it's just, that's where we're at. It's so unfortunate, but they've gotten this far, and it's hard to say, because what I think of, and something that gives me hope, because we're seeing like other countries, right? They're voting Democrats, or like I say Democrats, I meant like liberals, like they're going against like this alt-right like narrative, because they're seeing what Trump is doing to our economy, and what he's doing to our, like, we already didn't have healthcare, like, and we already didn't have these like universal healthcare, like Bernie's been talking about since 2016. Other countries, they've all figured it out. For whatever reason, we have to privatize everything. For whatever reason. It's a mystery, but it's not a mystery. And if we took care of our people, like, we would be a healthy country. We would be, general populace would be alright. Like, there's no reason other than making the richest people, the most wealthy, the most, like, they just want more. Like, it's not enough. Like, they're already being, like, on these upper echelons of importance and stuff, they're empty.
The modern system of capital rewards sociopathy. I am confident in my belief that nearly every billionaire, even like 100 millionaire, is in some capacity a psychopath, because our systems, our markets encourage that behavior. It rewards it. That's why billionaires are so comically evil. They have no empathy. They do not view themselves as a member of the human species.
They don't. They really don't. Their existence is so different from what you and I experience just going through life. Like, from the day that they're born, they're fucked.
It is completely alien. They don't care. It doesn't affect them. They don't think about it. Every decision they make is mechanically calculated. They don't care about the personal effect they have. They just care about what will make them more money at the end of the day. They don't care about the personal consequences because they'll be dead by the time any consequences hit them.
Hello everyone, thank you for listening to the Dreambubble Spacecast. Be sure to go and support our guest this evening. If you are further along in this thought process than me, I hope you can appreciate that I put this stage into words, and you can share with us where you think we go next.